It was dubbed as a measure that would protect the health of restaurant workers and customers by prohibiting smoking in county eating and drinking establishments. It's this step taken at the local level that's branded Councilmember Phil Andrews.
It's a law that's accomplished what it set out to do, which was to protect workers and diners from hazardous secondhand smoke. The fact is the restaurant industry continued to do well in the county. The difference was that restaurants were now safe.
But it wasn't an easy road. The bill was first approved back in 1999, only to be vetoed by then County Executive Doug Duncan. When it made it back to the council for a vote in 2003, restaurants like Clyde's and Chevy Chase argued the ban would threaten their livelihood.
Did it hurt business here then when that law actually went into effect and there was no smoking allowed here at Clyde's?
Yeah, it had a very negative effect on our bar business. One fell swoop, everybody went away to where they could still smoke.
However, since the ban's enactment, restaurant receipts across the county have risen steadily, and we found the lunch crowd at Clyde's were happy to be dining smoke-free.
Are you glad when you come to a restaurant, though, that there's no smoke around? Are you happy now that you can come into a smoke-free environment, not just Clyde's, but anywhere else?
I guess overall, yeah. I guess probably one of the worst things is just having smoke blowing in your face while you're eating.
And what do you think about banning the smoking in the restaurants? What has that meant to you?
Well, it means that everyone can enjoy eating dinner, not having this smell that overcomes you, and also not having it on your clothes or in your hair.
I think it's a great law.
Why?
Just because I think it's bothersome to people who don't want to be surrounded by smoke or smell that. I don't like having it in my hotel room. I don't like having it in my restaurants. If people want to smoke, I think it should be done in, public spaces outdoors where we don't have to all be inflicted by it.
If you've been a smoker, when you smell smoke, it's even worse if you were never a smoker. If you get smoke in your face, it's like as if you're about to smoke again, so it's really disgusting.
Tony Moyna has been the general manager at Clyde's for 10 years. He remembers all too well the tension surrounding the potential ban, but reluctantly acknowledges today his business is not affected by the fact patrons cannot smoke.
Well, there's other things like recessions and so forth that, sort of affect business, but whatever our business pattern is now, I don't think smoking has any bearing on it or anyone else's, because there isn't anywhere where it's allowed, so everyone's sort of in the same state of affairs.
Phil Andrews maintains the best argument for the ban is that secondhand smoke violates the rights of non-smokers and restaurant employees. It's that perspective that created a domino effect to prohibit smoking across the state of Maryland.
It's pretty clear that the other jurisdictions weren't going to go forward until someone else did. And Montgomery County worked on it for several years, and it was a big fight, and it was a lot of work. And in 2003, I sponsored the measure, and it was passed by an 8-to-1 vote.
And as an employee, Tony Moyna says a smoke-free working environment is where he wants to be.
Are you happier to go into a restaurant today knowing that it's a smoke-free environment? Does that weigh into anything that you think about when you're eating a meal?
Yeah, I'd prefer not to be in a smoking environment. Wherever it is, you might be able to find one these days, but yeah, it's nice.
It's affected a lot of people. It affected thousands of restaurant workers who have served worked in restaurants over the past, and bars over the last 7 years, and certainly everyone eats out from time to time. So it's probably had the most impact of the measures I've worked on, and I believe it's contributed significantly to the health of restaurant workers as well as to patrons. It's something that Montgomery County was able to lead the way on, and that once we did and people saw how well the law worked, that it didn't hurt business, and that it accomplished its purpose of protecting the public's health. And now if someone proposed repealing the smoke-free restaurant law, I'm sure there'd be people lined up around the block to say, no, this is great, keep it.